I read some part of the Quran. The history of Muhammad, the history of Islam, how it developed over the century, and the story of some special group of Muslims, namely the Sufi and the poets, which I love most. There are different visions about many things, but the root is the same. Even so, there are many other religions, but I choose to embrace our faith because I think it's most appropriate since I'm living here, you know, that I emerge.
Lelang dakwah, lukisan sweet orange, karya Meru Sandia, pelukis Indonesia yang diundang langsung oleh Raja Salman, dilelang dengan harga terbaik yang dananya 100% akan kami gunakan untuk pembangunan masjid terpadu Ayah Sofya, kota Malang. Lukisan sweet orange ini dilelang dengan harga 19 juta saja untuk muslimin yang lebih dahulu menghubungi kami.
Dan berdirilah benteng yang sederhana awal untuk mengabarkan kebenaran rahmatan lil alamin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Aku akan pakai bahasa English untuk ini, okay? Welcome.
Selamat datang.
My name is Harris. I'm half Indonesian.
Nama saya Haris dan saya setengah Indonesia.
Half Indonesian from Sumatera, and my mom is from Belanda, Dutch.
Saya dari Sumatera dan ibu saya dari Belanda.
And I grew up in the States, and I now live here in Sidoarjo, about an hour and a half away.
Saya besar di Amerika tapi sekarang tinggal di Sidoarjo dengan keluarga saya.
I've been asked by Ustaz Ipung to come here to help during this process.
Beliau datang kemari atas request dari Ustadz Ipung untuk membantu dalam prosesi ini.
So, have you studied anything about Islam? Have you done any studies in Islam?
Studied Islam, yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Apakah Anda sudah mempelajari Islam? Ya, sedikit.
How long have you been studying?
I read some part of the Quran.
Seberapa jauh? Saya sudah membaca beberapa bagian dari Al-Quran.
The history of Muhammad.
Oh, dan juga ilmu tentang
Rasulullah. The history of Islam, how it developed over the century, and the story of some special group of Muslims, namely the Sufi and the poets, which I love most. I consider them kind of universalist poets, especially Maulana Rumi. Are you familiar with him?
Rumi, yes.
Yeah.
Beliau sudah mempelajari banyak sejarah Islam.
I don't know if he's considered a prophet inside the Muslim community. I'm not sure. But
Rumi?
yeah, he's considered a part of master or
He's a poet.
a poet. Yeah.
Dan beliau
That's,
juga
I think,
sangat
the
terpesona
part I
dengan
love
Rumi ya.
most, the artistic part.
So how long have you been studying? How long have you been studying?
Oh yeah, I did it all over my life, you know, because something religion and philosophy in general is something that I study all over my life from time to time. So that was a part of my personal private study because I consider that a spiritual part of life. You know, maybe it's the most important one in our life, and you understand what I say. Yeah. And how to say, something that accompanies us all over our life, you know, and give us the chance to answer to the meaning of life. And you find it all over the world in a different form and ways depending on the history and culture of the development of the history and the culture in local community, and sometimes they join in large groups, sometimes they divide. But I believe they all come to the same nature of human being and life and the universe, because the spirit is the same for everybody. It cannot be different from person to person and place to place, in my opinion.
Oke, jadi beliau sudah mempelajari tentang filsafat dan spiritualitas sepanjang hidup beliau, merupakan sebuah perjalanan pelajaran hidup dari beliau sendiri, dan beliau mengatakan bahwa nilai dari sebuah semangat itu sangat universal, dan beliau sangat menyukai untuk memperdalam dunia ini dan menemukan beberapa sisi dari agama Islam yang menarik, utamanya di bagian sufi. Rumi, am I right? Oke, jadi ada tokoh Rumi ini merupakan salah satu tokoh inspiratif untuk beliau juga, seperti itu.
So this has mainly been a self-study or self-journey of study.
Pardon?
This has been mostly a self-journey of studying on your own.
Yeah.
So did you study by yourself?
Yeah.
Or did you?
I studied by myself.
Did you ever sit with a scholar or any Muslim and ask questions?
I've been with some Muslim community occasionally, but mostly I studied by myself.
Ya, beliau lebih cenderung suka mempelajari tentang agama Islam sendiri, tapi beberapa kali beliau mengunjungi dan berdiskusi dengan sesama cendekiawan Muslim juga.
So do you have any questions at this time, or is there clarity in?
If I have any question, let me think about it a little bit.
Beliau menanyakan apakah ada pertanyaan sebelum kita mulai prosesi.
So most of my study come from academic material, which is public. Everybody can access it. But there is some kind of experience that is not academic. It's how the different community in the world live religion in the practical daily life. So I'm here in Indonesia for 5 years now. Because I think the nature is the same and the root is the same, Ibrahim and God, and there are different visions about many things, but the root is the same. Even so, there are many other religions, but I choose to embrace our faith because I think it's most appropriate since I'm living here, that I merge. I join your tradition for how much is possible to me. In these 5 years, I rarely frequent Beliau. I'm not interested in that kind of mentality and lifestyle because I believe that my society, even if it has a hedge for technology, many things, maybe it's more advanced than Indonesia, but it's declining on the moral side also.
The Western world?
They're losing every belief about anything because the technology is something that make you forget God.
Jadi beliau mempertanyakan tentang ini sebenarnya bahwa selama ini beliau mempelajari tentang hal yang berbau akademik, berbau sangat referensial, dan beliau sedikit mempertanyakan tentang bagaimana praktek sehari-harinya karena beliau juga merasa bahwa Islam maupun Kristen memiliki akar yang mirip, walaupun mungkin dari segi praktisnya agak sedikit berbeda di dalam keseharian, namun secara sejarahnya beliau menganggap bahwa kesamaan ada di dalam situ, dan beliau mengatakan bahwa moralitas dunia Western sekarang sudah mulai menurun sehingga Indonesia menjadi pilihan yang tepat untuk mengambil dan menyerap nilai-nilai keislaman seperti itu.
So in the West we are at this point of human evolution where the people don't know why they exist. They have no meaning, they think, oh yeah, there is something, I'm sure I believe in the universe or whatever, or nothing. They're completely atheists because they consider the spirit or God like a child's story, that's what they think. Because the reason lead you to this, the technology lead you to this, but that they want to live forever and they hope that technology will make them live forever. And if you live forever, there is no meaning in life because it becomes quite a stupid thing, you know.
Ya, jadi beliau juga merasakan adanya keresahan karena dunia barat sekarang dengan teknologinya membuat masyarakat lebih meragukan keberadaan Tuhan dan agama karena mereka merasa bahwa semua perlu alasan, dan ketika beralasan maka tidak ada arti lagi dari hidup. Walaupun mungkin kita hidup sepanjang zaman juga mungkin tidak akan lagi ada nilainya. Itu yang beliau hargai dan beliau pegang untuk saat ini, seperti itu.
So here in Indonesia, even with all the problems that you have, because there are many problems, but you still have the spirit, huh? Maybe some really believe it, maybe some not. I don't know, I cannot judge. But I feel there is the spirit, and I believe that it's your duty to protect it as we step in the future, and you don't lose it. Because the technological evolution will bring the man to forget God. It means that you forget your nature. You don't know why you are in this world, you know. You only care about protecting yourself, having things, accumulation. Yeah, you have to be very careful. They will just give you this temptation.
Beliau juga menyampaikan bahwa masyarakat Indonesia dengan keagamaannya yang cukup kuat menimbulkan sebuah semangat ketika pun banyak masalah. Beliau tidak memungkiri bahwa Indonesia masih banyak masalah, tapi kita tetap berteguh, kita berpegang teguh dengan apa yang kita punya, dengan agama kita, dengan kepercayaan kita. Sedangkan orang Barat dengan kemajuan teknologinya, dengan evolusi di bidang teknologi, membuat kita melupakan esensi dari manusia sendiri, bahkan konsep dari ketuhanan dari manusia itu sendiri, karena kita lebih egois untuk hanya memperdulikan apa yang kita punya saja.
So I want to say that also the advancement, you know, has a good things. It's not only a negative, of course, but I believe that in this country you have this feature of spirituality, and that's the good part. So I choose to live here, you know, and marry a woman of yours, and that's the choice to embrace your faith.
Beliau tidak memungkiri bahwa memang perkembangan teknologi itu baik, tetapi beliau sangat menghargai bahwa orang-orang di Indonesia, ya, karena kita selalu berpegang teguh dengan spiritualitas kita, tidak melupakan esensi sebagai manusia, sebagai hamba Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, seperti itu.
So maybe I'm not much instructed usually in Islam in this moment, but I quite know the story of Muhammad, who had a vision, you know, and was brought by an angel, and he described the structure of the word and the other word, but I don't take things lightly, you know. When I make a choice, I go very deep. So in the future, I will assume for certainly the duty to study deeply tradition, and not only the Quran but also the history and the surrounding culture that is all around the Muslim world, which is quite a large universe itself.
Jadi beliau juga menyatakan bahwa walaupun mungkin masih belum sedalam itu, tapi beliau memastikan bahwa beliau akan berkomitmen untuk mempelajari lebih dalam lagi, tidak hanya dari segi Quran, tapi juga segala sesuatunya, karena seperti yang sudah kita tahu bahwa Islam mencakup alam semesta dan segala isinya.
So you understand the basic pillars of Islam, that there's only one God, that you believe in the prophets,
Yeah.
you believe in the angels,
Yeah.
you believe in the books,
Yeah.
and you believe in the day of judgment,
Yeah.
and you understand your basic responsibilities and duties of a Muslim,
Yeah.
to pray 5 times a day,
Yeah.
to pray 5 times a day, to perform fasting.
Salam, which
You're in the month of Ramadan, right? So tomorrow you're going to start fasting, or
have you been?
Start immediately. Tahap beginning. Start immediately in Ramadan.
MashaAllah, great time, great time.
and you understand to be able to perform Umrah, Hajj, inshallah. in the future to do Hajj, to do the pilgrimage to Medina, to Mecca. Okay, inshallah. So nobody has forced you to become a Muslim. Nobody forced you to become a Muslim.
Yeah, nobody forced me.
Tidak ada paksaan dari pihak beliau untuk masuk Islam, dan beliau juga sudah memahami bahwa banyak tanggung jawabnya dari orang Islam, dan beliau sudah menyaksikan dan menyetujui bahwa rukun iman dan rukun Islam akan beliau penuhi, insyaallah.
So are you ready to do the shahadat?
Okay.
Ashhadu
Asyhadu
Allah
alla
illa
ilaha
ha illallah
illallah
ha illallah wa ashhadu
wa asyhadu
anna
anna
Muhammadan
Muhammadan
Rasulullah.
Rasulullah.
I bear witness
I bear witness
that there is no God worshipping,
that
there is no God
there is no God
to worship
to worship
other than Allah.
Allah,
And I bear witness
and I
bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad
that the Prophet Muhammad
is the last messenger
is the last
messenger
messenger
and prophet.
and prophet.
Allahu Takbir. Allahu Akbar. So now we're going to do some paperwork, and then now that you have become a Muslim, you did the shahada. When you go home tonight, it's like in the Christianity, you do the baptism, but what you're doing is you're doing the ablution, or you're taking the full shower to cleanse yourself, and then tomorrow morning you'll get up to do your sahur, or to eat breakfast before the daylight, and to do your begin your prayers. Do you have any questions?
No, I think it's enough.
And Jazakallah. Check.
Alhamdulillah beliau sudah menyampaikan syahadat dan insya Allah mendalami artinya, dan juga sudah disampaikan bahwa setelah ini beliau diharapkan untuk bisa mandi wajib sebagai tanda bahwa beliau akan mendalami agama Islam, dan juga sebentar lagi akan ada beberapa dokumen yang sepertinya akan dikerjakan untuk pengesahan secara hukum. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Mungkin sudah selesai. Kita ucapkan selamat datang kepada saudara baru kita, Mr. Welcome to Islam. You are now my brother. We are all your brother and sisters. I hope you are feeling home, and I wish you for the best. Thank you very much.